Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be recreating two looks that I have seen from different YouTubers. So we're going to be using a few different palettes. I'm going to do my best to recreate these looks, so don't judge me too harshly. I will try and remember and link their videos down below, and I'll get into a little bit more who I'm doing when we get into the looks. But yeah, if that's an interesting, stick around. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and let's jump into the video. So my complexion's already done. I did that in a separate video that should already be up on my channel. And then for lips, I just have the sugar cookie from one of Too Faced holiday sets. I just went with a nude. I think it'll complement both looks. But to start off, let's see, I'm going to be doing one look by Angelica Nyquist and then Make Me Up Missas. So we're going to do Angie's look first. I'm probably going to do it on this eye, and then we'll do Missas' look on the other eye. Hopefully that's not too bothersome. But for Angie's look, I'm going to be using the Odin's Eye Christmas Morning palette and possibly a little bit of one of the shades from the Moon Dust palette by Urban Decay and maybe some glitter. So let me prime my eye, and I am going to be using two different primers. On this eye, I went in with the Ulta Beauty The Matte primer. This is very comparable to the Urban Decay. I had that one before, and I just never repurchased it because I still have this one. The Odin's Eye, I found my favorite eye primer is the Gerard Clean Canvas, but this is a little bit tackier of a primer, and sometimes I have trouble. The Odin's eye shadows are very pigmented, and it'll like cling and takes longer to blend, which the staying power is good, but for the sake of this video, I have found that using that primer, just going to move some things around, makes it a little bit easier to blend. It's a good primer. I will get another one when I use that up, but for Angelica's look, she did, and I'll try and find the video if I can. It's from a little while ago. She did like a dark teal with like a lighter shade to blend it out. And then she tried to go in with like a black shimmer, and the one that she used, like the glitter came out, and I'm sure I have a black with silver glitter in it somewhere in one of my palettes, but I didn't want to go digging around. This has a black, so I'm going to use the black on my lid, and then I'll go in with either a shadow from the Moon Dust and or some silver glitter. That's what she did. She did some silver glitter on the black, and it looked really, really pretty. So that's what we're going to use. I have several teals and like sage colors that I could have used, but everything was in one palette, so that's the only reason that I chose the Odin's Eye one. And these are a little kick-uppy. Probably didn't need that much, but yeah, I found if I go in, and I can use the Gerard primer, but I have found that it takes me longer to blend just because of the pigmentation level of the Odin's Eye shadows. So the last couple of times I've done looks with that palette, I've just used this primer because it's not so sticky. And I'm just running this up into the crease. I have not been feeling well, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube. So I started watching older videos of Angie because I didn't start watching her regularly until more recently. So I found this look, and it was really, really pretty. And it's just kind of a dark smoky eye, and you could do this with any shade, but these are the colors that she used. She used one of the Beauty Bay palettes. I think it's one that's still available. I forget what it's called. It kind of looks similar to the Dark Magic palette, but it's actually on sale for $9 right now. And I almost bought the palette just because it was on sale, but I don't need it. Like I said, I have teals. I was going to use a couple other palettes for this, but I discovered the three shades that I was really after were in this Christmas Morning palette, so I've been using her palette, her Hella palette from them a lot lately. I bought it when it launched, was that like almost a year ago? And I didn't use it until recently. I have a ton of makeup that I bought and never used, so that was one of them. So I'm just using a Sigma E25. I have 2 of these brushes. It's one of my favorite brushes. So I just went in with that teal and just took it in the outer corner in the crease, blended it out, and then I went in with Christmas Tree, and then this is New Leaf. But like I said, you can use any dark or teal, dark navy. You could do it with gray. These are the colors, again, that she used. So, and it looked really pretty. I don't do a dark lid ever, like a dark shimmery lid. So it just looked pretty, like something that I wanted to try. I am going to grab a highlighter for under the brow bone. She does matte or like no brow bone highlight. Maybe just, what's this, Moonstone from Becca, maybe? I'm going to use the same brush. I just cleaned it off. I have a towel in my lap here. Just going to throw a little bit. I like kind of a shimmery brow bone. She does not, and that is just a personal preference thing, so I'm going to highlight with this shade. I might highlight with a different shade for the other eye look, because the other eye look is going to be a little bit different. So I have a towel in my lap, and I also have my color switch. So this is the only brush that I've used, and I just want to make sure this is really, like, the crease is really, really dark. I feel like I did lose a little bit when I blended that, but I want this to be dark, and I might take a little, what is the black? Happy Ending. This palette does have a black. I might do just a smidgen of black in this outer corner here, just because this was meant to be like a dark smoky eye. Just that adds a little bit more depth out there. Okay, I'm a little scared for this part because like I said, I don't do dark lids. I do have flat brushes here. This is a ColourPop E3. It's just a flat brush. So I'm going to go in with the black. And we're just going to put this on the lid. I think she took the black all the way over. I don't know. Maybe we'll do the whole bottom lid. Or at least take it over a little bit farther than I would normally. Normally I leave the outer corner like a separate color. Okay. And then I'm going to go in. My favorite little brush to do this part is a Morphe. I probably need to go online and order another one of these in case Morphe shuts down. M170-2. It's a very thin flat brush because Morphe's been going in and closing their stores. Now that doesn't mean that they're going to go away completely, but it makes me nervous with all the brands that have closed. So I'm just using a little bit of the NYX glitter glue, and I'm going to tap this on the black because I'm going to go in. I've decided to go in with the palette. I am going in with the palette, the Urban Decay Moon Dust, and we're going to use this Granite shade, I think. It's a toppery shade, so I'm going to put some of this on, and then I think I'll do a little bit of the Profusion. I had an Urban Decay silver glitter liner. That's pretty. And my silver and my gold just got old and like weird. So I actually have a Profusion silver and gold I think Cowboy was the gold shade. I couldn't tell you what the silver was called, but these Profusion ones are very, very comparable to the Urban Decay glitter liners, and they're like a fraction of the price. I think these are like 6 or 7. Just fixing my towel. And that's really pretty by itself. That Moon Dust palette is still available. I'm going to get a fluffy brush just because I got a little bit of fallout from that. Might have been from the black too, I can't. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the silver just for some bigger glitter pieces, but that's pretty just like that. But yeah, these Profusion ones, I bought these before my Urban Decay ones completely ran out because I knew mine were getting near the end of their life. Just want this to be really sparkly, so I'm just going to put some more of these on, and I'm just tapping the silver top of that other glitter. Okay, that's pretty. I like that. That looks like pretty much what she had. It's very, very close. She may have taken the teal in just a smidgen farther in here, but that's pretty close. Okay, so let me get primed, and let's think about the lower lash line here. I was going to say let me get primed, but I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of Christmas Tree, which was the teal. And then a little bit of New Year, which is like a shimmery turquoise. And I'm just going to put that near the front. Just because I like glitter. No other reason. You could do the same 2 colors on the lower lash line and call it a day, and it would look just as nice. And this is a Jessup 237. Jessup brushes, I get them on Amazon. They may have a website. I don't know. I've only ever bought them on Amazon. They're very, very comparable. I think they're a little better quality, honestly, than Morphe. They're cheaper than Sigma. They're better. They're very, very good quality for the price. Like I said, you can get them on Amazon. And then for inner corner, let's do maybe just that Moonstone shade. I don't really have a super light shade in the Christmas Morning palette that I want to use. So let's just go in with the Moonstone that I used. Could actually maybe go in with a little bit of Best Wish, which is like a minty shade. And then a little bit more Moonstone on top just to lighten that up just a smidge. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to prime the other side, and we will do the second one. I primed with the Gerard clean canvas on this side. Like I said, I can use it with the Odin's Eye one, but it takes me longer to blend. And for something like this, I don't want to be sitting here having to blend for an eternity. So I just went ahead and used a different primer on the other side. For this look, I'm going to be using the Book of Magic by Beauty Bay. When Melissa did this look, I think she was using, I forget, because Beauty Bay came out with, there's a berry one and a green one, which I had, the Midnight palette, I think is what it's called. That's what she used, which is available. But I have similar shades in this, and I have this already, so I'm going to use this. But if you wanted to recreate her look exactly, like I said, I'll link her video down below. She used the Midnight palette, like the big one. So I'm just going to use this because I have this, and this will get me in the ballpark. She normally does a lot of like sunsetty eyes with like purples and oranges and yellows. This is going to be like a galaxy eye, so it's got some blues and some light purples. It's not going to look exact. It's going to have maybe probably the similar colors, but it's not going to be exact. I'm going to go in with Cursed first, which is a pretty like navy blue, and I'm going to do this. I think she started off with a black, and she does really like rounded eyes a lot of times. My shape is definitely not going to probably be the same as hers either, but hopefully it'll have the same vibe. This palette does have a black in it, so I'm going to put some of this blue in here, and I'm just using a Sigma E25. Same brush that I used on the other side. I just cleaned it off. Like I said, I do have 2 of them, but... And I'm going to take this kind of in the crease, and then, because the purples will blend into this, we'll take it in about there. And I am just going to color switch. I'm like moving my I moved my tripod. My camera's heavy, so falling over. I'm just going to color switch in the middle of this. I should probably turn, since I'm doing the other eye, a little bit closer so you can see better what I'm doing. That might help. I'm so used to just doing the one eye on camera that I forget. I'm not afraid to go in with the black first. I just had to think here what I'm doing. I know what colors, like I said, what colors she used. I did kind of watch a little bit of the video today just to kind of get an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't watch the whole video, so this isn't going to be, like I said, exact. And I have a few different brushes here, so I just blended that shade out. I'm going to go in with Trick, which is like the next lightest blue, and I'm going to try and blend this edge a little bit. Same brush, I just cleaned it off. I don't tend to use a lot of brushes. Sometimes when I do tutorials, I'll use a few different ones, but realistically, when I'm doing makeup myself, I will probably use this one, my little flat Morphe brush that you saw me use for the other look. The little one that I used under my eyes, and that's generally it. I don't use a lot of different brushes. I can generally get what I need with just a couple. So again, I'm just color switching in between. And then Elixir is the next lightest shade in here. And this one's, and I'm going to go back and forth between this and that other blue that we used, probably. Just to kind of blend this out without hopefully losing the blues that we did. And then I have to go in with a smaller brush towards the inner part because my eyes are small. She has a bigger eye shape than I do. It took me a while when I first started watching her to kind of figure out. Sometimes takes a while to figure out why your looks don't exactly come out like somebody else's. And part of the problem I run into is I have less lid space and space in between my eye and my eyebrow. It's just because I have small face, small eyes, small everything, so I can't always do as much blending as she does or as many colors because I just don't have the room. I end up like way up past my eyebrow if I do. So that's kind of where we're at. I feel like there's like a little bit of a harsh line in here with this darker blue up in here. I can kind of see it. So I'm going to try and blend that out a little bit better right in there. But I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go in with the purples. And I'm going to take maybe this. It's a Jessup 237. It's generally what I use on the bottom. So we have that blue kind of in here. And I did clean this off. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Voodoo, which is the darkest purple. And I'm blending it into where that darker blue is. And I'm going to go back in with this E25. And then what do I have over here? I got out a couple other brushes. This is a Luxie Tooth. This is a Jessup Luxe 234. This is a little bit smaller. Take a little bit more of that darker purple. Okay, so this part is not going to be exactly the same because I just don't have the room. But then I'm going to go in with Sorcery, which is just a mid-tone purple. And this is a look that's pretty easy to blend the colors together because blue makes purple. So if you're not familiar with the color wheel, this is going to be an easy like color combination to do just because these colors will blend together fairly easily. And then there is a lighter purple in here. It's called Enchanted. But I think this is why I didn't buy the Midnight palette. I looked at it. Like I said, I have the 16 pan of the berries and the green one. I didn't feel like I needed the giant one. But I didn't get the Midnight one because I have this palette. And it has very similar shades in it. And I don't do a bunch of blue and purple. So I think that's why I've looked at it a few times. But I think that's why I've never bought it. And I'm just going back and forth between the lightest purple and the Sorcery purple. And I don't know what color she used on her lid. Mine are not going to be the same. One, it's a different palette. And two, I can't remember what she used. And three, I'm just going to use different shades. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go in with, I don't feel like I need to cut the crease because I kept my lid pretty bare. Woo, the NYX glitter glue. These are jumping out of my hands here. There's a couple different ways we could go with this. There's a pretty silver in here, and I definitely want to use the purple. I'll hold the palette up so you can see. I just put that all over that like clean space. This shade is pretty, but I think this has a brown undertone. I'm thinking maybe the silver and the purple. Yeah, because this crystal shade, how does that swatch? I feel like this has a brown. I might put some of this over the silver just because it's pretty. It's got some iridescent shimmer, but let's do the silver first. And then I might put crystal on top. So this is just going, same little 170 M170-2. Like I said, I probably really need to order another one of these brushes just because this is my favorite like little flat brush for this kind of thing, and I use it with every eye look. Probably need to look into buying a new one before because we don't know what's going on with Morphe. I just know they're shutting stores, so doesn't mean they're going away. But it's definitely not good. So I just put that all over. This is like a faux cut crease. I have hooded eyes. So if I do a cut crease, I have to go up in here. So I'm just not doing that. Going into Charmed. It looks like a cut crease, but it's not really. And then the purple is just going to go out here. And this is going to help blend into... And sometimes with these, I'll go in with my finger and place it. This is just going to help like naturally blend the silver into the blue and the black and add some more of that purple in. I'm going to take a bit more of this purple up in here. I feel like it, and it's only when my eyes open, took off some of that color that was up in there, but it's in the sunken in part, so I don't know that anybody would have seen it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of crystal just because it's pretty and put that on top of the silver. I feel like that's doing something. And then if I was going to do like an actual cut crease, I would probably do some of my Heavy Metal Urban Decay and Distortion. This is my favorite. I might just put a little bit of distortion on top of that just for some extra. I have 2 of these. This is the one that's like ready to like run out, but again, not necessary. Probably need to pull the stopper out of this one so I can get all the glitter out of it. And I just took that all over the lid just for some extra sparkle. Definitely not necessary at all. I think I'll just take a little bit of crystal on that same little brush. I'll just put some of this because this is like a galaxy eye. I'll just put some of that under the brow and then under my lash line. I think I'm going to take this dark blue in Cursed. And then I'm going to go in with Jinx. It's a purple. It's a blue like shimmer with like purple in it. It looks like it's got little like purple and different colored sparkles. It's pretty. And I might do the silver in the inner corner. And then I'm going to go in with, I think, the Sorcery shade, which is the purple one underneath that. And then I'll go in with a fluffier brush to blend that out. I think I have one over here. Yeah, this is a Morphe M18. So I don't do blue and purple often, but I thought this look was really, really pretty. And then again, we'll do Moonlight is what the silver shade is called, if you're curious. Just do some of that on the inner corner. I think that's really pretty. I definitely need to do like blue and silver more often. I'm going to put some color in my waterline on both sides and then we'll close this out. So for my waterline, I just thought it would be fun to put kind of like a light blue. This is the LA Girl Neon Liner in Fresh on this side. And then this side is an Appeal gel liner. It's in forest green, but it looked almost identical to the dark teal. Now I'm not going to, normally I would finish this off with mascara and falsies. I'm just going to take this off. I'm filming this at night. But yeah, I thought this was really fun. These both turned out really, really nice. I definitely wouldn't mind doing these looks like when I'm going out into the world. I have not been feeling well at all. I haven't been able to get up and do much. So I just wanted to sit and play with some makeup and recreate some looks that I've been watching, because that's all I've been doing is watching like TV and YouTube. So thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully I didn't do too bad of a job. I'm going to tag both of them. Not that either one of them will watch this, but hopefully I didn't do too bad in recreating these, but I think they look really pretty. Yeah. Let me know if there's any other looks you guys would like to see. I definitely have a little bit of time that I can sit and play when I'm able to. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, make sure you are subscribed if you're not already. And hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.